Hey, homies. So I wanted to tell you about the sketchiest poker room I ever played in because, well, it's funny and dangerous, but I lived. So it's worthy of a tale. Oh, but first, actually, so casino friends, actually all friends, like 2 years ago, I started doing things with my left hand. I'm right-handed, but like just normal everyday tasks like brushing my teeth or cooking or reaching for something, I'd make a conscious effort to do it with my opposite hand because, well, I figure I killed so many brain cells in my 20s with my hard partying. So I could build new neural pathways if I started doing things that I hadn't done before, and that, I don't know, just seemed easy. Start doing things with your left. So after that, I just started like instinctively, instead of using my right hand, I'd pick up my phone and start texting with my left. Like I just started using my left like automatically. Maybe not instinctively. That's the wrong word, but whatever. Like, yeah, just it like reprogrammed me to just, I don't know, be a lefty, ambidextrous. Who knows? Um, but yeah, so a few weeks ago, I decided, well, I was high on acid and had a deck of cards, and I just realized that I'd never tried to deal with my left hand. Always just been right-handed because right-handed, so I never would have thought to deal with my left. But yeah, when I was on acid, I figured I'd try dealing with my left hand. And my pitch is way cooler than my right-handed pitch. Like I feel like oh, that was good. I feel like a ninja throwing ninjas, like throwing stars. It just, well, I don't have the accuracy I do with my right, but it was pretty good. This is only the second time I've done it, so not bad. Hitting the camera a lot. The first time was on acid, and that was the second. But but yeah, it's just way cooler. I got more spin on it. I can pitch way better. I don't know. I like it. I like it. Joanne, you impressed? Um, anyways, back to the story. So yeah, I got to this casino hotel and I pulled up and I looked at it and I was like, holy fuck, I'm staying here? Like, oh my God. But yeah, I was, because I already paid for it, I already booked it and got away from that girl. So this is what I was doing. And it was just real divey. You know, when you go somewhere and you get the feeling I shouldn't be here? Yeah, I got that feeling. So I don't know, didn't really have a choice. Well, I guess I could have left, but I didn't want to lose my money and it was just for a night. So I figured I could just tough it out. So that was my plan. And I wanted to play poker. So there you have it. And yeah, I didn't look up reviews because I was on the bus and I was just, frantically looking for somewhere to go and I had no plan and I needed one. So you know what? Just got to make the best of it. And also, so back in like 2008, my friends and I, we went to Jaco Beach, which is just a couple towns down from Capos. And we went there to deal a World Poker Tour event. And that was kind of sketchy. Like there was some sketchy people and a lot of hookers, but there was a lot of normal people too. So it kind of balanced things out, but not this time. Because I was just at a really divey casino in a crime, like a gang run, prostitute ridden town on a fucking Tuesday. So it was not the same. But whatever. So I went to my room and it was like not great, but it was a bed. And after staying in a hostel, it was just nice to have my own space. So I was okay with it. And went down to the casino, but the poker game didn't start till 8 and it was probably maybe 3 or 4, so I had time to kill. So I just went back to my room and did some planning to get the fuck out of there. But yeah, made a plan, went back to the casino. And so the casino, like it was mostly slot machines. They had some table games and like I think just one poker table, maybe more, but I can't remember. The fear is blocking my memory. But yeah, so there was like three Spanish guys just sitting at a corner, and they were just kind of like chilling, playing a game that was not poker. And I just went and sat down, and the one player was like, "Oh, do you want to play?" Well, he didn't speak English, so like he tried to talk to me, and then I pulled out my phone and used Google Translate to talk to him. And yeah, I gave him my money, bought into the game. And this guy who's in the game, he's actually the poker manager, so that's why it was just a random player taking my money. So the poker manager is just playing in the game. And yeah, it just felt kind of like, what's going on here? And so yeah, I just sat there watching them play this game, talking Spanish. Like, I'm just by myself. I just sat down by the biggest, scariest gangster looking motherfucker because why not? And eventually a couple other people rolled in, some Americans, and the game got started. And this guy from Texas, his name was Huck. He was like an old American. He sat beside me, and he's like, "Oh, you're brave. Like, what are you doing here by yourself?" And I was like, "I don't know. I just want to play cards, so I came here. It's finished at a music festival. I don't know. They looked up poker, and there was poker, so I figured I'd come play poker." And he's like, "Well, look around. It's not safe here. Like, you're in a bad part of town." And I was like, I looked around, and it's only men. The only women in the casino. There was one server who was a girl, and the rest were the prostitutes outside. And I was like, "Well, whatever, Huck. Like, I'm here now, so shut up. Like, I can't really do much about it." And then he just started talking to me about, he's like, "Oh, I got a boat. I can take you fishing." And I was like, "I want to go fishing with you. I don't want to go anywhere with you, man. Like, get away from me. Let me play my cards." And so, yeah. But yeah, a couple more Spanish crew came in, and the table filled up, and you could tell like they were definitely cheating and colluding and playing, like soft playing each other. They didn't really bet against each other, but all the foreigners on the table, they were just setting us up and out to trap us and gunning for us and talking Spanish, which is fine because it's a Spanish speaking country, but you knew like they were talking shit about us or helping each other. I don't know. You get the vibes. I've dealt and played poker long enough that you know when you're in a sketchy situation. So, but yeah, I can't call them out on it. So I just kept playing. And actually, after a while, me and Scary, we became friends. I was using Google Translate to talk to him, and he was talking back, and we were laughing and joking and cheersing our beers. And he'd be like, if I wasn't in a hand, he'd show me his cards, and I'd sweat him, and we were kind of homies. And it was nice to have an ally there that wasn't Huck, like a homie on the Spanish crew. So, you know, actually, after a while, he sent me a pin to his house. And I was like, "Thanks, man." It's like what I do in countries where I don't speak the language. I'm just always like double thumbs up and a smile, but I'm not going to your house. It was like 50 minutes in the middle of nowhere in the jungle. Like, thanks, but I'll pass. So, um, anyways, yeah. So after a while, I went out to smoke, and I met some Americans on the sidewalk, and they were having a smoke, and they were about to go into the casino. And I was talking to them, and they were like, "You're just here by yourself?" And I'm like, "Yes. I know it's not safe, blah, blah, but I'm already staying in that sketchy hotel, and I'm in the poker game." And they're like, "Oh, we played that game last night. Like, these guys are definitely up to something. They're definitely like playing with each other, and they're just trying to trap the tourists, and they wait for gringos and foreigners to come in, and that's what they're doing." And I was like, "Thank you for confirming my suspicions, but yeah, I kind of figured that out already." So yeah, after talking to the Americans, I just like wove my way through the hookers and went back in, and I was texting a friend because after they told me it wasn't safe, I'm like, "Man, I gotta tell someone where I am," because that's so many people who are just like, "What are you doing here?" Like, and it was like, someone should know where I am. So I messaged one of my homies back home, and like we're not that close. So I was like, I couldn't text someone who actually cared a lot about me where I was because they'd worry and stress out, and I didn't want to text my brother or any of my friends. So I just messaged my buddy and I was like, hey man, I haven't talked to you in a while, but just so you know, I'm playing at a really sketchy card room in a different country. And I was like, if you don't hear from me tomorrow, call the cops and tell them my last known whereabouts were the Capos Casino, Kamek, poker room, and find me. And he's like, what are you doing? Like, get out of there. And I'm like, no, I want to play poker. So no. And yeah. Anyways, so I went back to the game. It's like 1 or 2 in the morning at this point, and a lot of the Americans have been hustled and they're out of the game. So it's just me and Huck and a couple others, Spanish crew still. And yeah, I got fucking beaten by the leader. Like, so I had ace king, raised pre-flop, hit an ace on the flop, and then he flopped an 8. Like he had 10-8 offsuit. Called my raise pre-flop. It was like $30 pre-flop. He was playing 10-8 offsuit. And yeah, just ended up hitting 2-pair in the river, even though I was betting the whole way. So he took all my money. And then I went to the cash cage to get more money out because I didn't have any. And the exchange rate the girl gave me, it was so off. Like the normal, I forget what it was, but it was way higher than the normal exchange rate. And she's like, oh, well, there's a bank down the street. You can just go there. And I was like, I'm walking down the street to a bank, pulling out money, and then walking back by myself. Like, but maybe I was. So I was like, give me a minute. And I started Googling this bank and weighing my options. And then she went and talked to the leader, the poker manager, and he was like, said something to her. Then she came back and she's like, oh, I can give you this rate now. And it was pretty close to what the actual exchange rate was. And I was like, you shisty fucks. You just get to decide what the exchange rate is based on that guy wanting to take my money? Like, sure, give me 1,000. So whatever, I didn't have to walk to that bank. So yeah, then I went back to the game, and at this time it was just me and Huck, and they cleaned out everyone else, and Huck's having the time of his life. He's whipping out 100 after 100 after 100, and I don't even think he knew he was getting hustled. He just was having so much fun playing cards with the boys and trying to take me fishing and drinking beers. And oh, that was another thing. They just kept feeding me beers. Like they just kept sending beers to me. Like the first couple I paid for, and I don't really drink that much when I'm playing poker, but towards the end they just kept giving me free beers. And even if I had like half a beer or quarter beer, like there's still obviously still liquor in there. The girl would come by and she grabbed my beer and try to give me a new one, and I was like, no, like give me my warm beer, get out of here. Like, it was like they were trying to get me drunk, and it made me mad, and I was already mad. And so I switched seats so I could be just on the other end of the table. No one was there because I was between Huck and Gangster and then the Spanish crew on the right. So I moved across the table and there was a wall behind it. And so since I was by myself and no one was in the seats around me, like instead of looking at my cards like this, oh, I didn't even plan that. The hand that the leader beat me on. Oh well. Anyways, so yeah, normally I look at my cards like this, but just because I was by myself on that side of the table, I just holding them up right in front of me. And then after a while, I like did this, and then I noticed there's a fucking mirror on the wall, and right behind me. So because the guys were across from me, and I'm just looking at my cards like this, and they saw like pretty much all of my fucking cards for the last hour. And I was really pissed off and just over it. And so I left.
Because they all saw me take out money and knew I had cash, I just went back to my room and put this chair under the door to block intruders.
And yeah, that's it. But then I went to the city. I went to the capital city, San Jose. And this city does not have like a great reputation online. It has like a lot of tourist warnings, and you're supposed to like, it just is not safe. Well, that's what they say. But I went there and I didn't want to play poker because I did read the reviews of these card rooms, and they weren't great, except for one, the Casino Escatu sounded okay. So I was like, you know what? Maybe Capos was bad, but I'm just gonna check out this one. It out of the two main ones in San Jose, it was the one with less reviews about hookers and bad shady shit going on. So I'm like, you know what? It's close by. I'm gonna go there. And I did, and it was freaking awesome. It was the complete opposite of Capos. I walked in, there's armed guards at the door, like very James Bond style in suits, and they patted me down, and I went inside. The casino was beautiful. And when I went in, like the poker manager was just a sexy ass man, and he kept calling me baby and put my name on the list. Then he went and got me a cup of tea, and then I was just sitting there waiting to get in the game. And the casino manager came over, and he was a sexy ass man too in a suit, and we were just shooting the shit and chilling and like really good vibes. The casino was so pretty and clean, felt safe. And yeah, I got into the game, and it was a 1-3 game, but it kind of played like 2-5. Like people had a lot of money on the table. So it was good. It was fun, and I was winning, and I got 3 phone numbers at the table. Like these guys are just so laid back and chill, and they were just a good time. They were good energy, and every player was just friendly and like the complete opposite of Capos. But even though like I only lost $300 at Capos, like it feels like I should have lost my life. So it was still a win. It was a win for me there. But yeah, this Escatu was unreal. So I wasn't going to stay in the city that long, but I just had such a good time there. And even staying at my Airbnb, I met my neighbors, and they were all cool, chill people. And I would walk to the grocery store by myself, and yeah, I felt safe. Like it was fine. I'm sure it depends where you go on how sketchy things are, but yeah, I really judged it before I went because it has a bad rap, but I don't know, I was fine. And yeah, just a hot poker manager being like, baby. And
Oh yeah, guys, when I cashed out, the poker manager gave me a kiss on the cheek. Like, what service?
the the people are great. So fuck you, Casino Comic. Never going back there, but San Jose all the way. But yeah, so that's the story. Now you know. You're in Costa Rica. Would not recommend unless you're going to play a tournament at Jaco Beach.
Or need a hooker.
Oh man, that's good. Like this left hand. Oh, that wasn't good, but still getting a feel for it. Anyways, okay, I love you, friends. I'm gonna just do this till I knock my phone over or run out of cards. Just like it. It feels so much cooler than my right hand. Been missing out on this all these years. Oh. Bye. Okay, I love you guys. Almost out of cards. Talk to you later. Bye. I had to come back. I didn't know if you could see it because my shirt was folded, but I found this sick sweater for $5. And I didn't buy it just to tell you the story. I bought it. Well, when I left Canada, I forgot that like I was so done with winter that I didn't bring any warm clothes, and I forgot that AC existed and that I was going to be cold in hotter places. So yeah, like fuck AC. Like I get why it's necessary because those places are too hot. They need it to survive, but it's freezing. It's worse than Canadian winter. Oh man, this left hand. Like I just never knew my left middle finger had all this power. Where you been hiding? But yeah, you guys should try it. Well, you'll probably have to do things with your left hand for a year because it took me a long time to get the dexterity. Like even when I was brushing my teeth, sometimes I would just slip and like go into my eye because I had like no coordination when I first started doing things left-handed. But look at me now. It feels so much cooler. It's way better than my right. accuracy not there, but I get it. Anyways, yeah, just came back to throw cards at you and show you my sweater. Tell you that I hated AC, so done, done, done. Man, fucking it up. Oh, there we go. Very good. Okay. This is good. Bad. Okay. Later.